Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on the 2009 film Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Now, as you know, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is a computer animated science fiction comedy film that was produced by Sony Pictures Animation, as well as being closely based on the 1978 children's book of the same name. And the difference in the book version is that it's mostly a grandfather telling his grandkids a fictional story about a fictional town where it rains food. This one is much different, and what's actually interesting is that the film was directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, the same team that gave us Clone High. Now, the premise of the movie is meant to follow Flint Lockwood, who is meant to be this unsuccessful but determined inventor. And pretty much Flint wants to sort of use his inventions to help the small town Swallow Falls. But most of Flint's inventions end up either causing more harm than good. And you can kind of tell his father Tim is a bit more knowing that Flint is going to set himself more for a hard fall, and does try to get him to find an actual job. And he does work as a character because Tim is meant to be a bit more realistic and doesn't want to see his son fail too much. And one day we see how Flint creates a food machine that actually works, and this causes the town to like him, as well as getting him to sort of make food requests. But of course, it ends up going wrong, with Flint and his new friends going in to save the day. Now, I would say the film definitely works, because Flint is meant to be a character like us who wants to do something big, but without realizing the potential consequences. I would say when you also look at Sam Sparks, who's meant to be this weather intern from New York, when she starts to enter Flint's world, there is more truths about her. And I would say the point of Sam is that she's meant to sort of see Flint's potential, and sees that Flint has a lot of ideas that could work. I also feel when you've got Mr. T playing the town's police officer, oh, he actually does work as a character, because yeah, he's a bit more fearful of what Flint's inventions will do, and you can kind of tell he does warm up to Flint afterwards, after realizing the town's mistakes. And I would say when you also look at the mayor, he definitely works as an antagonistic foil to Flint. While Flint is meant to sort of wants to do something big to help the town, the mayor is more determined to meet his own ends, because he pretty much uses the town's budget for a big attraction that is clearly not going to work. And when Flint starts to become successful, he starts to see sort of uses him as a bit of a pawn, seeing him more as an opportunity to boost his image. And I would say the movie definitely has some important messages. Like Flint's one, basically sort of trying to do something big, learn from your mistakes, as well as being careful of goals and ambitions. I think the point of the town basically seeing their mistakes, as well as Sam realizing they bit off more than they can chew, that sometimes greed can get the better of us. And I think the point of Tim is that he's meant to sort of have doubts about Flint's machines, and starts to think his whole weather machine is a bit of a dangerous idea. But I feel once he starts to enter Flint's world himself, he starts to see Flint's potential, which I think does work. And I would say that when I did cover the sequel, yeah, that movie did work as well. And I also know they did do a TV series back in 2017, which I don't really see it linked with the films. Again, they do clarify it in some way, but to me, it just feels like something that's non-canon. And I do admit Phil Lord and Christopher Miller did actually took a lot of creative liberties and was able to give a movie with an important message about learning from your mistakes, about basically working on something that will benefit something, but learn from the outcomes and keep trying. And this does remind me a lot of, say, Nostalgia Critic learning from his mistake on the Pink Floyd video. It's also like Irate Gamer when he got better, as well as Angry Video Game Nerd when they started to become friends. That actually works. So I feel somewhere Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs rained from the sky and gave us a pretty decent film. It's definitely good and definitely great. So I think it deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.